Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Sultanate series, the short-term series of Crusader Kings 2 here on the Lord Master channel, featuring Razia the Brave, who is currently the champion of the Ring of Honor Fighters Guild Society. She's only defeated 3 other pretenders so far, and C2, if she can defeat 7 more, then she will be the Grand Champion and be the founder of the Grand Champion Bloodline. Though, unfortunately, if she does defeat them all, good for her, but the problem is she's too old, no children. She's too old to have children, I should say. Left no children, all because of that slow fever epidemic that prevented me from doing any seduction. Wanted it to, but never able to accomplish it. And plus having that lover's pox trait that I picked up due to, where is it? Due to having a bodyguard lover. So must have gotten it from that. So clearly that, I guess, Razia is never destined to be a mother. But she is destined to be one of the best fighters of this society ever. Sure, she'll leave no descendants if she were to create that bloodline of Grand Champion, but damn it, she's going to defeat everybody. She'll continue to be a great fighter. She'll stay in perfect shape and go on to bounty hunting against anybody who, has a bounty on their heads. What am I doing? I just realized something. I'm a terrible teacher at this. Trying to teach this man. Training this man. Suggest some serious talk. Well, meanwhile, we're still keeping an eye on the west because the Sultanate continues to expand again and again. I believe our training starts to get in order. You've taught me well, and I thank you for the change, man. It took me time. Even if I do die without having children of my own and the successes go to the other part of the family, but at least I will leave behind a great legacy, because I am the founder of the Grand Madrasa. Which, by the way, I should save up my money to sponsor such a university. And if I was focusing on scholarship or theology, or have an ambition to become Paragon of Virtue, then maybe I'll think about that. Any bounties? Check it every year. Nobody at this time. Alright, let's sponsor the university. Which madrasa do you sponsor? Fez, Cairo, or the Grand Madrasa? You know, this is the one I was talking about. I helped found it. Hey, I don't recall you being a giant, but now you revealed yourself you're a giant. Because when we first met, and as you became the headmaster, since you are the headmaster here, you weren't a giant the last time I checked up on you. And I guess we didn't realize it as soon as you got up from your desk. And clearly you are. And I know you're stressed because you stay up all night. Some people prefer the night to the day. Where can they be by themselves to do what they enjoy? Anyways, I'm here to donate the money to you. So here you go. The chief of Guzgan. It's up there. What do you need? I mean, I don't live too far away from here. So it's this chief, he asks me, for the Guzgan liberation of Balk against the Kagan of the Chagatai Kagan. Got them while they are weak. I mean, I've always wanted to fight in the front lines again. You know what, I'll join this time. Wants to liberate Balk. Most welcome. Yes, I'm in. We're gonna need some support here. Because I don't have enough troops from Delhi and others. So I'm only using the locals as necessary. He won't raise it because he doesn't like me. Understandable. Plus, they're not going to be that many, but we need more than necessary. That'll do. Not using my domain troops. For monetary reasons. We'll get to you soon. Oh. You'll do. Management debate. Trick. And I won that debate. As I was getting ready to sleep, I heard a scuffle from outside my bedroom door. Rushing outside, I found that my guards had seized a cloaked man as he was attempting to slip some documents into the room. Under questioning, he revealed he was working for a bit of a rupa, and the documents were fabricated evidence intended to turn me against my vassal bit of a man. He's the true traitor. Ever since I stole that sword from him that I currently wield, he's held a grudge against me. Let's go to Balk. A delegation from my subjects arrived. Large-scale forest clearing work's been done. Now one of my promises. Recent illness among the elephants means the peasants don't have enough of the animals to be able to finish in time before the rainy season. They ask and lend them elephants to speed up the work. I will send elephants. Next challenger. You're asking for it. 4. I've learned that Sultan denounced me harshly at the faction meeting in Magda. It only managed to make the faction even more loyal to me. Excellent. It's back to neutral. They were opposed. And yes, there are those that want to get rid of me because of my rivals and the Sultan of Bahar. No, I still need that trade from him. Going in after him. My commander has been slain in the steppe of Balk. Decapitated, my lady, the courtier says, shuddering. It was Khan Jigan from the Eagle Warriors. He continues, averting my eyes. And you just left him in the mud? That could have been me, you know. Don't underestimate him. Balk is the objective. Take it. Kashmir was converted to Sunni faith. Got to see that. Just remember, my creative spy master discreetly suggests he's willing to help me find dirt in that head in order to gain political approach for my goals. If I gain the upper hand over this counselor, he'll owe me a favor forever. While he is in the council, I will be able to manipulate him as I wish. Well, I am deceitful, but I don't know about this because yes, I'm diligent too. As the spy master also contributed with his traits. Just do it. Balk has fallen before me. My troops are collected, everyone found within. Now I must decide the fates of the unfortunate. You got money. We'll ransom you. As we have a habit of doing. You know, that means we also have to go up to the Fergana area to meet with them as well. Put him in irons and ransom him. Success. Search of the dirt on was successful, and my spy master was instrumental in this plan. The poor council broke once I presented him the evidence, and I will now enjoy forever in his favor. Another tool in my arsenals of lies and deceit. Like, what the heck am I going to do with them anyways? Should invest in this, knowing that we're making good profits on the Silk Road now. Next challenger. Oh, he's a real contender. But I am 50 years old now, so the old age has now started to mess with my personal combat skills, so Yes, time is catching up to me, but I am determined. Because I need to defeat all the other pretenders so I can be, the grand champion and all that. Gotcha. Should build up these kind of buildings. Have not invested in the holding buildings themselves. We fully occupied the area. They're crossing to the area where the chief is from. Bugra. You're the impaler. A tall, perceptive novice fighter impaler. Inspiring leader. You'll do. We're gonna be crossing the river and going to the desert, but that doesn't scare us. You boys don't scare me. Don't you know who I am? The majority of the people of Delhi finally converted to Sunni. That was my life's ambition. Convert a province, thus increasing the stewardship and the learning. So my time and effort spending upon converting a province to Sunni faith has taught me a thing or two along the way. Not really, but still. You can convert another if you wish to. Which one would it be then? Now, what is my ambition going to be? Think. Amass wealth. Yeah. Let's just not spend too much money now. We know where we get our income from. Head to there. They'll be on retreat again. Just get money by any means. Sultanate is at it again. Mongol liberation in Azerbaijan. The renowned poet Bey Ali of Koro has evidently completed another masterpiece in Muslim literature. It said he stood and read it before the court, and the reaction was mixed and enthusiastic. There are some who says this work will be remembered for some time of greatness, but for now, Bey Ali appears to be mostly embarrassed. I see. That's on you, you know. Oh dear. Not now. Thinking I have consumption? There's no time for this sort of thing. Let's fight them again. Maybe I'm just tired. You know, the fatigue can get to you, you know? Oh, you hear that? Now I'm a distinguished commander. Keep it up, win a couple more battles. Not in perfect shape anymore. I'll get back into it. And give me more money. The assassins are destroyed. The assassins are no more. As their fortresses and mountain hideouts burn, the last members of the once feared assassin order are hunted like animals, then cut down without mercy or compassion when found. Their legacy now survives only in the legends and stories spawned from their exploits. Well, good riddance. Kinda odd to say it. Well, they were mainly Shia, Muslim, so yeah. This'll be easy. I was here, pretender. It's the 5th, I think. Two more holdings and the war will be won. Still haven't chosen a chief Qadi. I keep forgetting about that. Of course, the Imam himself, he knows about these things. And fulfilled my ambition to amass wealth, thus further increasing. Shall we keep it going? Amass fortune? Or say that realm prospers, since I'm not declaring any wars anytime soon, so might as well. Because I can't declare any war because of that threat level up. I guess it's just fatigue, that's all. It's a minor symptom treatment has recently canceled that out. 100%. We'll return home now. Let's go. There, you got bulk. Spent on a chapel. That's just to up the disease resistance a little more. So no disease can come to Delhi again. It'll soon become a major silk city. Bounty hunter. It's about time that I do some bounty hunting. Because I just spent all of my money. We'll get a little more. Well, she's included in this too, so... And I'm still in my prime. Well, as far as the body is concerned, even though I'm 51. But I'd look hardly any different other than a few wrinkles and a scar up here from, you know, the warrior pilgrimages that I had during the Regency years. But as I said, the frailty of the old age is starting to get to me, but I need to fight anybody who has a bounty in their heads, for not only for money, but it's also to improve my duel experience. So it's just to say, don't mess with me. Start with the weakest and work your way up. maybe a little fatigued, but I ain't scared. Wounded now. Swing it home. Got a little greedy on the extravagant. A little greedy again. Just hit him. Die well. Oh, I forgot that it says bounty mission complete, then I complete anyway. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a field day with this. Not a scratch on me. I'm a little fatigued, but that fatigue doesn't affect my combat skill. This is gonna be interesting. Who's next? Come on, big man. It's pretty predictable at this point. Chuck him again. Aim for the head. Flawless victory. How many bounty posters they put on some people? Again, I just said bounty poster as if, you know, like it's in the Old West in America. In history. You're next. Only accept payment in blood. Go for the head. Go for the head. Go down, you bastard. Let me look at you. Broken leg. Oh, fine. Go for the leg then. He's badly bruised everywhere. He's asking to be maimed. There. Not a scratch on me, but I may be fatigued, but who else? There's more. Shut up. It would have been funny if it wasn't one hit. Cracked ribs, so keep going for the center. Or the head. Die well. Okay, so there's two more then. Now the Rajput's turn. Keep going for the torso. Remember, pick a body part and work on it. One more to go. This is a clean sweep, isn't it? Because I have not had a single hit on me. Okay, look real quick. Mostly keep going for his leg. defense attack. Clean sweep. I never experienced something like that. But then again, I'm playing as a character who lives and runs an empire here, so there's a lot of characters that have a bounty. And because of all this, look at that personal combat skill that just jumped up due to taking part of many of those duels. And made a lot of money for that. Who says that she's fatigued? It ain't gonna slow her down. And after all that money I've earned, I am actually going to sponsor the universities in Fes and Cairo. And I guess that's pretty much it. Yep, that's how. That's what you do with the money you just earned. Just sponsor to your local universities, and as well as all the others in other places. And in return, they'll send me books. Oh, apparently I had a bruised torso. I didn't know that. It must have been momentum that I didn't know I was hit. Okay, Chief. He drank some rose tea, but he's skilled and he's a tall man. But, again, if he hits me in the torso, I'll become wounded, and that's going to be a problem. By the way, the word is adrenaline. That was the word, not momentum. Adrenaline. It was a shot of adrenaline, what it must have been like. And let's see if this adrenaline keep on going, because I need to defeat 4 more pretenders. Bingo. Critical hits. My daily routine involves repeatedly swinging my blade at a training dummy. However, I can only learn so much from fighting an inanimate enemy, and our practice gets dreadfully dull after a while. I could use someone to train with. How many friends do I have? Not much, but 2 rivals. The Rajkumar of the Andawa Kingdom of Zealous War. Oh, I could duel you, but... But he is the... I was about to say, no, he's not the heir of the Yadawa Kingdom, but... I thought about raiding the big country, since I can't declare holy wars against them because of the defensive pact. I might as well raid them, because I still want to defeat against the enemies in battles. So I can rank up on the military command. Let's make that happen. 5,000 strong. And bring up the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Move your rally points. Meet up in... Since we're going after Chandari. Chandari. And that includes the local vassals too. From my areas. You're all raiders. And since they are big, then we'll include the lieges from Bahar, Bengal, and even from over there in Sind, the Sind Kingdom. We're all gonna raid together against the Adawa. Damadars approached me to propose to reform the regulations used to train, raise and train the Mutmushilavis. His ideas have a great deal of support in the court. Others say they have a good chance of going very wrong. You think so? I have a good chance this will happen, so this sounds like an excellent idea. Military reform. A recent reform of the training and procedures within the Imperial military has had a positive impact on the realm's forces. In one of the larger villages of Hastinapura, a respected elder recently passed away. He was beloved by all for his virtue and wisdom. Few had anything bad to say about him. His funeral attracted many who wished to pay respects to him. Even some claim his spirit will provide the land many blessings before he passes to the afterlife. May his soul rest in peace. I wish him all the best. Should move back that crown focus. I want to see prosperity here. Not sure about him, but go for this. Even though he was one of the good ones. We'll be raiding at the Adava soon. The biggest and strongest. Because I want to take him on in a big battle. While we raid. Just want to attract them over here. Just wait for all forces to assemble. Hey! Get in shape. Starting next year, we'll go look for more possible bounties. My pious courtier told me there's a very talented individual of low-born origins that could be a very fitting addition to my court. After letting information sink in, he proceeded to suggest I approach this character and know what he wants. Of course, asking a civil courtier to come to my court is not the most prestigious of actions. I don't want to alienate some of my vassals further, but I don't care about lowborns at this point. Yeah, man. One of the good ones. Come on, hurry up. Still fatigued, but just wait for the burning fat to go away. Then we'll go check if there's any bounties. We can only raid these two areas. That's where the loot will come in from the Adava realm. What do we got for this year? There's two. He's got a pet owl. Got away. Okay, let's try this man. Hindustani. I've been hit. Oh, you son of a... You lucky bastard. Broke my finger. That doesn't bode well. Wounded. Especially at this old age. Doesn't help that I'm fatigued. King of the Mongols, Khan Jomog of Sultan, has decided to settle down in Sultan, making it his new tribal homeland. Okay, the wound is gone, thank goodness, but it's gonna just be for a few more days now. Are you having trouble with... Oh yeah, the gonorrhea. I forgot, no matter how many wives that I'll give you another soon. Also with gonorrhea and a lunatic. Damn, not a lot of good choices for somebody of your type. Ah, here's one. Hope for the best for you. That Rajput got lucky with me. Why are you still converting people? You can stop now. Charity's pretty effective. You know, for once, research cultural tech around here. Spread it around. While we loot for more money. And use that money for whatever I would need. You again? I've had enough of you. Two more to go. Where are the Adava army? The more you expand, you're keeping that threat up, you know? Seek another treatment. Try to get rid of this fatigue. I am pleased to invite you to my forthcoming coronation in Mansour. I will officially be crowned as Sultan of the Sumer Kingdom in sight of Allah, and your presence will be most welcome. Oh, I'll gladly attend. I've never been to a coronation ceremony before, other than my own coronation ceremony at the very beginning. I'll gladly attend. I'll be there. Sister, feel much better. My humors will restore the proper balance of that bloodline would be the best way to go. Another minor symptom treatment. I've inherited a mosque. Yeah, a mosque that I want to personally control. Good. As long as it's within the limit. So I'll keep it. The Surma coordination. I, Muhammad Tor of the Surma dynasty, with the blessing of the greatest, do hereby rightfully assume the crown of the Surma kingdom. With those words, does he become Sultan of the Surma kingdom in truth, with each of his vassals lining up to bow before him and swear everlasting fealty. It is an impressive ceremony full of pomp and circumstance, and one that will write Sultan Muhammad Tor into history. The streets of Mansour are lined with Sindhi crowds cheering, with everyone straining to get a look at the important personages that pass by on their way to the forthcoming feast. Long live Sultan Muhammad Tor! With the coronation ceremony finished, the newly anointed Sultan Muhammad Tor retired to his castle. The hall is packed with people, lords and ladies of the Surma kingdom, their wives and husbands, visiting Sunni rulers and emissaries. It will be a night to remember. This will be quite a celebration, I hope. At one point during the coronation's festivities, Tamaril Sanjar of Nurankot stands and gets everyone's attention. He delivers a poem in Sultan Mahmud Torzana, and it is terrible. Did he intend to insult his host, or was it an accident? The awkward coughs afterwards signify this moment is best forgotten. How awful. My head is itchy. Really, terribly itchy. I'll just try to ignore. I can't ignore it. Because, you know, don't take off your crown. And plus, you're in a coordination feast. Just deal with it. The coordination feast finally draws to a close. You know, as Sultan Muhammad had given a speech to those gathered that is barely heard over the Razia's cheering. Long live the Sultan! Long live the Sultan! A fine event indeed. I couldn't scratch my head. I got it! Here it is. Sympathy for Eastern religions. This character, though neither Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, or Taoist, has a special sympathy and understanding for the Eastern faiths and their practitioners. So now those Hindus, the Rajputs that still serve under me, will respect me more. We don't have to fully convert everybody, just we only tolerate those. Next area, only one holding though. Highly doubt we'll go into a deep expedition into this area. We should raid them next. We do border 3. Some of the Yadava troops out there. Get it back into shape. Yeah, we do not have enough local troops. In fact, since you're so good at stewardship, I want you to build these structures faster. We want them, and we want them now. That's where we're at this point. There's the big battle that I've always wanted. That's what I was trying to draw out. I wasn't here for just the money. I was here to bring out the best that India has to offer. So that way I can defeat them in a battle and hopefully fight some of their commanders, as my combat skill is without equal, despite my old age and maybe a little tired. But it's the moment that I've been waiting for. But we'll be taking a river crossing as it's plains up here, fortunately. Listen, I like you, Rajput, but it's reserved for the best. Yeah, we're gonna be charging at you first. What a huge battle. And we were able to capture some prisoners. Now you can get back to loot that one holding, then we'll go over and loot these areas all the way to Ujjain. papoose. Yeah, I've been educating some of the women here for you to get married. Yes, here's another, but be careful. She's got gonorrhea. So everyone knows that I've spent years and years directing the work on my book, when today I am presented with the final product. Lessons taught me by Guy Popergal Ashoka Kala. Huh? I scratched my chin and almost surprised that the work's been finally finished. I'm just glad we finished it before I left this earthly realm. Talking about this old rival of mine from the Wheel of Life and Death. Why have I not challenged that man to a duel? They say it's an honorable one, but hang on, let me see. Here it is. CK2 Razia of the Sultanate, Delhi Sultanate, was long feuded with Guy Popergal Ashoka Kala of Riyadh. In this rare and personal history, Razia spent page upon page listing noteworthy events and lessons from their complicated relationship. It's a quality 2 book, unfortunately, but +1 martial and a little more personal combat skill. There you go. Every little bit helps. Because, you know, you gotta be at your best. You're the champ. And you got 2 more pretenders to beat. And then you'll be the founder of that bloodline, which unfortunately you'll have no descendants to, but it will show that Razia will leave a great legacy, despite bearing no descendants of her own. But the Kagane will continue on through, you know, the nephews and their descendants from then on. Despite the gonorrhea. Why did you treat yourself? And if he dies, then this man... Why aren't you oh, you are of the Bektashi order. Right, you can't get married because you dedicate your life to celibacy, to be part of the holy order. Right. That's awkward. Anyways. Finally, somebody to kill. I mean, beat. You're not killing anybody. Shut up. I said, shut up. You don't scream like a bear, you Russian fool. So, next year, be ready. Next year, around the age of 44. Help in a war. What war? You are Khan Buri. What are you doing? That's too far away for me to participate, but I am going to send you some money. Because I have a lot of it. I can't seem to get rid of this fatigue, but I hope that doesn't kill me before I get to face one last pretender. Just get as much money as you can, and then we'll move on to there. And if I do indeed become the Grand Champion, then I will finally switch the war focus into... oh, I don't know. Rulership? Because that's what she was best known for. Besides being a great warrior in her own right, historically. Not as great as I'm portraying her to be in this series. So maybe I should spend the last remaining years with rulership, because that's what she was known for. They say that she was a good administrator. The Chancellor of the Exalted Protector General addresses the letter to the magnificent cartoon of the Kagane. Made a good overview of you. The strength of the relationship between our to straighten the relationship between our nations, my master has sent me on a mission to your domain. It would honor me to visit your court and discuss politics with your diplomats. The servants of the Protector General always welcome her. In fact, I think I have a plan. When I defeat one last pretender to be the Grand Champion, go on a trip to China. I have yet to do that. In addition to focusing on rulership. It's going away. It's going away soon. Oh, don't even think about that. Don't ask for privileges. Next area. Need stables. That is indeed the son of Dugulu. That means son of. And he's an imbecile. Oh no. The best way to do that is get curious and hopefully picks up shrewd, which is in fact, you know, turning imbecile to slow. But he's fifth in the line. So do not worry. Might as well. Get in shape this December. Alright? Just be prepared. Yeah, I've been training. The preparations for Chancellor Ajay's arrivals tomorrow are well underway, but I find myself pondering what more could I do to make him feel welcome. Even though a proficient translator has been summoned, would it not be a nice gesture for me to greet him in his native tongue? Oh boy. I shall spend all night learning complicated phrases to truly impress. I'm diligent, you know. My lady, please wake up. I said, where am I? My eyes dart around the room. The library. The guests are waiting. Forgive me, my lady. We didn't know what you were. But searching the palace for hours. I bury my face in hands and have not received my guests. And the is already a disaster. Curse those early risers. The sun is barely up. Your terms hold offended, and the Protector General, will hear about the appalling manners. Oh, don't you worry. I'll be going to China over there to kowtow before you next year. I promise you. Next year. Should we fight them again? Big battle. You're in shape. Because I want to beat the heck out of the Yadava before we just loot the rest. I want to get in the duel with one of their commanders to further improve my skill. It is not. You've angered the peasants. And man, there is no signs of slowing down despite the loss of the event's spawn troops. That means, yes, they are the strongest nation, but they're still Tengri Pagans, and they are nearly about to eliminate the Kagan. And they keep expanding into Oman, no wonder. Matter of fact, hey, can you convince them to tell them to convert to Islam? If not, then we're gonna have a problem with them. soon after Abdul Latif arrived, the Kagan orders imprisonment. The Kordimam is now languishing in the dungeons of this pagan lord. Who could tell what the savages will do to him? Vile heathens. That's not nice, you know. I wait for the challenge. I've been training long and hard for all my life. And I can't wait to go back to the days of being an administrator. This is it. Don't underestimate him. He may be depressed and older than I, surprisingly. But I have been fighting so much battles, including the lessons taught me by my rival as I wrote down a book about it. I was originally of normal size, and then I've grown strong. Served with distinction in the military command. So I worked hard to get this sword and spent my hard-earned money to have this armor. Let me see. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Wonder if it's possible. I don't think so, right? No, you can't have another one of these as the same artifact. But you know, having a 10 of these is the equivalent of that. So it's good anyhow. Yes. Does not take your chance to land an easy attack. Dodge. Flail wildly. He swings his weapon at me. Dodge. Go for the head. For the critical. There we go. Many foes have attempted to reach my rightful place, but times and times again, you've repelled all pretenders. Now no one could doubt your might and skills. The title of Grand Champion is yours and yours only. All shall remember your glorious exploits for the ages to come. That title is forever mine. Razia the Brave will now be known as Razia the Champion. And there you have it. Everyone knows the exploits of Khatoon Razia the Champion, the undefeated Grand Champion of the Ring of Honor. So ups the morale damage, ups the monthly prestige as well as sex appeal despite her advanced age, but more so on the personal combat skills. But unfortunately, she will leave no descendants for this particular bloodline. But she will still leave a great legacy to this nation because of all the money that we've earned and that we put on to improve the domain of Delhi. So that way for future generations that we will try to maintain this slowly growing empire of ours. And to also the possibility of curbing the threat of the Sultanate, which continues to rise and rise again until something's got to be done, or otherwise the Caliphate will be defeated and we will have no way to launch a jihad against the Sultanate. And I will participate in that to do anything to reverse their gains. So I guess it was worth it. I mean, in the early part of the series, I wanted the first 5 episodes or so to be all about Razia, which is a pretty noted individual in her own right. So, so you could say, you are indeed the grand champion, Razia Sultan. What are you gonna do now? Well, first things, I could stop using that war focus, because that's what this bloodline's for, and go back to what I used to do when I was younger. Rulership. Try to be an effective administrator, because I always have issues with stewardship. And subsequently, I'm going to China. So let's begin. We're not going to end the episode just yet. The journey to visit the Emperor of the Yuan Empire and show my subservience will take months, if not even years. I take my farewells to my near and dear and prepare the caravan for departure. Let's get going. One more big adventure. Take over. Be sure to loot everything. But of course, I still have to defend the title of champion as long as I can. And if I'm starting to run low on money, then if I start to run low on money, you can always go bounty hunting. The Khan of Sistan. I'm sorry. I'm going to China. I can't be there for you. I would, but I cannot. Okay, get rid of this fatigue. Minor symptom. To remedy my fatigue, gave me a draw of milk and poppy to help me sleep. But please remember, whenever I pass nephew who has gonorrhea and he's been taking treatments, good. Keep it up. Hope you get rid of it one day. It'll take a miracle to get rid of it, you know. As the days drag on, I find myself thinking back to Indraprastha. I'm wondering what is happening in Palace and how is here faring without me there. When I return home to her. When my journey to the Middle Kingdom seems to never end. Halt! I need to compose some thoughts to my friend. Make a stop for the evening, and my friend will receive a letter of my thoughts and well wishes. We'll be pen pals. Do it for the rest. Just militia training grounds. There. Well worth investing. And don't forget, you gotta stay in shape. Okay. You'll be fine. As my remnant returned from looting the holding, one of them hands me an axe of a strange purple sheen and a plus etched into the handle, followed by the number 2. After weighing it carefully in my hands, I toss aside my old grey axe, which I never have to begin with, in favor of the new weapon. The +2 axe. I feel stronger. I'll still be using the sword of Muhammad, but this mysterious axe has a purple sheen and it has strange symbols. A plus and 2 engraven on the handle. Seems to be of quite epic workmanship compared to regular weaponry. I am bent low over the war table, struggling to stay focused to keep my eyes open when my husband, Kagan Ardahan, enters. He crosses the room and inspects the war table over my shoulder. Perhaps a fresh pair of eyes might prove helpful, dear wife. Perhaps you're right, Ardahan. I've been through a lot. The tutor. One day during a leisurely afternoon, one of my courtiers offers to spend the time teaching a particular subject matter. What do I want to learn? Don't worry, so... Intrigue's been my part, so do teach me about intrigue. I'm probably going to regret this, but just do it. My husband received an education in warfare, like myself, so he quickly grasped the nuances on the problems I explained him. The two of them is set to work and discussing and comparing strategies. Ardahan is the most competent strategist. Within the hour, I've laid the groundwork for a promising solution. Brilliant idea, Ardahan. You have any additional suggestions? Just free military. Need more siege equipment because we have a habit of raiding now. You can stop swaying them now. You should be swearing at the vassals who like you the least. Like the evil one. Except I'm out traveling right now. Oh, speaking of it, there's a traitor in the realm, and the rotten egg's plotting my downfall. I enclose this damning evidence to this letter. Evidence? This is nonsense. That's what I think of your evidence. You say a lot of bull, but... Oh, is he born with gonorrhea? Sickly. You just done murdered your own child, Masood. You should have thought better. Our caravan's been approached by a smooth-faced Mongol man, claiming to be a renowned trader. After finally getting my attention, he beckons me to his own horse, or something is strapped to its saddle. Name's Daritai, my good lady. Why my latest acquisition interests you? What you got? Huron arm protector. An elaborate decorated barcade armband. It depicts 5 stars in the night sky. Guards, suddenly I'm in the mood for a gift. I order my guards to cut down a tree and steal the goods for me. I have no love for Mongols, especially to my next door neighbor to the west. Clipped on the wrist. For long, the stability situation in my domain have consumed my thoughts, so I applied my gregariousness in a big address to the capital of Beira. So here I am facing peasants, holy men, and traders, and there they are, facing me, inspecting inspiration to turn their lives less cumbersome. The speech begins now. Even though I'm on my way to the Middle Kingdom. So it's like, how do we pull that off? Oh, I know. How about we use a body double? The one who looks like Razia. Just give it a rousing speech. Give it some practice. Just roleplay the fact. Just try to imagine some sort of scenario. But then again, me, in actuality, me, Lord Master, I'm the kind of person that says, don't add logic to an illogical situation. The speech was long but uninspired, and the attending thought about myself as a bore. Should have kept my mouth shut. What did I tell you? She had a death trait, and as soon as she got married away, she lost the trait. Well, that was interesting. Death trait can only be found in the historical HIV. Hey! I just remembered something. Oh, as soon as I'm back, we can revoke titles. I'll switch that law. Yeah, you're the new one, because I keep forgetting about this sort of thing. Yeah, just building up a lot of military buildings like it's an arms race against our Elkhanic neighbor there. Our company has finally reached the central lands of the Yuan Empire. The Middle Kingdom and all its magnificence lay before us with so much to experience. Let us walk, lest I forget about the reason for the journey. I start to travel on the imperial roads towards the Celestial Palace. Well, the Emperor just died, and now, well, wait a minute. It's business as usual then. I thought he's the new Emperor, and why does one die with the other? Are there two? Well, good job. I can only be very grateful to him because he's competent in advancing my financial interests over long with the utmost efficiency for 20 years! Rest of my life, basically. At this point. Got rid of my Rajput friend. Vassalized, I should say. Please give him a chance. I like him. I'm out on the walk in the beautiful park in the Middle Kingdom when I spot a group of people, intensely focused, gathered up around a square board with circular pieces in black and white. How do you play this game? Lost the money, but it'll reflect well in the eyes of the Emperor. So we made it to the extension. Unfortunately, after spending my last year browsing old texts, I was not able to improve my knowledge. Pity. You can invade China through there, if you wish to, which is suicide. A merchant that I'm acquainted with offers me his abacus. He is growing old now, and is becoming less involved in the world of commerce. He thinks his abacus will better serve me in my work. I will gladly take it. My first cluttered item. An abacus. Used to do various calculations ranging from simple addition to determining square roots. A little more stewardship and learning. Thank you very much. Nobody's been challenging me as of late because I've been away on this trip. Having reached the glorious capital of the Yuan Empire, it only takes a few days before a group of ministers approach me, offering to read and discuss chapters from the writings of Master Guan. They think I, as a Sunni, will be particularly interested by a section on revolving the vital breath. Of course, I would love to hear more about your political philosophy. The ministers are excited by my enthusiasm. This will reflect well, as well. I just inherited something else. Raz Karate. Oh yeah, the guy who founded the... Well, technically, I founded the... You know. So this valuable book of law was written by Raz Karate of the Grand Madrasa to guide his people. Who runs it now? Murad. He's the new one. Stewardship up. Oh dear. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think I have that patience. No offensive war for the next 15 years. Living up to 70 seems like a dream, but I could declare holy wars for myself again, so probably just in case. Knowing there's no defensive pact against me anymore. And there's a giant out there. I think I know what I'm going to do in the next episode. Hastinapur, Dipalpur, Lahore, Delhi, all prosper. It's a golden age, basically, for China and for the Delhi Sultanate. Can't wait to start another war once I get back here. A leper named Batuan has arrived at court today. With the leper colony in Delhi being crowded already, he has nowhere to go and now begs for my aid. You could stay here for now. See? I'm a nice person. Contrary to popular belief of what people say about me. Do you have sympathy for Islam yet? As much as I have sympathy for Hinduism. Yes, he does, but he already knows it. Plus, he's a hedonist. Oh dear, watch that. Gonorrhea. I gotta stop saying that word. Oh yeah, we're retreating. You barely pulled it off. The Emperor has kept his eyes on you, Chief Minister. You made to the throne to show your subordination. But be quick about it. Okay. Hastily perform the kata before the silent Emperor. I'll take the prestige hit. Go on, get out of here. The cartoon is back. Once you reach the borders, disband. Oh, we'll be fine. Okay, so... I know what my next target will be for the next Holy War. We can launch an invasion of Gujarat, which, if you have a lot of piety, you can launch invasions. We have beaten the heck out of the Adava, so maybe this is our way in. You can't invade them. You can invade Orissa. We may have to take advantage of this large amount of piety we have, so... You know, historically, I don't think the Delhi Sultanate in all of its incarnations ever gotten a foothold of these parts of India. So we're ready for a massive expansion via invasion, but should we do this little holy war first against the giants, and if you defeat them fast enough and I'm still alive by then launch the invasion of Orissa, and at that point I will not expand anymore. We would have too high of a aggressive expansion. Well, it looks like now it's finally crumbling under the weight of it. Let's hope for that. Because heaven forbid should the Mongols reach Mecca. So we'll see what we'll do next time on the Delhi Sultanate. 5 episodes of Razia. And the next one, I guess she's going to stick around for a little bit longer, despite her fatigue. And is there any other pretenders that wish to challenge her? And subsequently we'll hire new commanders in anticipation of the upcoming conflicts, so we can go south now. So we hope you join us in the future episode, and I hope you've enjoyed the first 5 episodes of the Delhi Sultanate featuring Razia Sultan. But until then, so long for now.